Hello everybody and welcome to another round of the Apex Online Racing PC Split 1 Championship here on F1 2016. It's the third round of the season in Season 13. We're here at the gorgeous Shanghai International Circuit here in China, and I'll be joined momentarily by King Kodiak, and we're going to be joined as well by a special guest which we're going to be trying out for this season, for this race only, and see what you guys think to it. It's sort of Ted Kravitz moment that we're going to be having, which will feature Marco FD is going to be our Ted Kravitz. He's a very experienced AOR driver who knows strategies, who's going to be the man to keep an eye on the Grand Prix as well. So we're going to get him in a moment's time as well.
Well, race predictions is going to be a wet race actually. It's inters all the way. Drivers can expect to at least stop twice even in the weather predictions that we have now. Dry conditions at the moment in quali, so expect a low 34 to even a high 33 driver to look out for in quali today. Definitely his Y-comps have shown strong pace in the socials earlier this week.
As Nick B will come up to the line, and it's going to be a 34.4, which puts him provisionally in P1.
We did up until that lap was complete. We have both Manners on the front row. Y-coms and Fizzy occupying those two positions. And so that is less than a tenth, 400ths of a second. Nick B currently holds up pole time by. We do have some time set on the softs. Berg, Nally and Afro, 4th, 5th and 6th respectively, have set their times on the harder tyre, as has Fab Racer, although he is out on the super softs at the moment, and Nooker as well, all setting times in the top 10 in the harder tyre.
I personally love really wet races, so
it's all race long as well. So that's good.
So Split
Berg has gone pole. The Mercedes has taken that top spot with, I can't see what his time is. Unfortunately,
it's a 134.4, only 7/100ths ahead of Nick B.
And Nooker in the Red Bull has just gone 4th, so a fair effort for him. So pretty tight. He's going 5 drivers within 2:10. Fab Racer has taken the 2nd spot in Fernando Alonso. Would love to have that accolade for himself.
He's coming into the final corner then, as he is currently P13 at the minute, and he's going to come up to the line. It's going to be a 34.7. Very close this qualifying session, I've got to say. The top 9, top 12, or could even be more than that, or under a second, I've got to say. All the way down to P14 or under a second. That is ridiculous, that pace there.
Nice.
Nick B on his out lap, as he's going to try and go for one more flying lap to get onto that front row spot and take important pole position here, because Marco overtaking here isn't really that popular around here, apart from obviously the big fat long straight as well. So is grid position vital in these races?
Well, surely if you're gonna start on inters, you're gonna want to be at the front because of the turn 1 chaos that might possibly ensue, for sure. 14
cars on track. Everybody is coming out having one last crack at the whip.
But we're about to find out. He is on pole.
34.3
for Nick B. That's a good time. That we're going to go straight to Berg then, but this is going to be close. He's got a temp to gain on Nick B as he comes into the final corner. Is this going to be pole position for Berg? The answer is yes, it is. It's pole position.
Nick B's down to 4th. So who's so Kalon we've just seen coming past him. There's only 1.6 seconds down to 17th where Kalon is. This is so close, but of course the weather conditions are completely different for the race as we know. And there it is. So Fab Race has stopped the pole. Wow, we didn't see that with Y-coms in 2nd. Great effort by the Manor and the McLaren there. So Berg down to 3rd at the, again, just 2/10 in between 1st and 3rd. Nick B 4th, Nooker 5 in, Nicky in 6th. Great effort for him. Failure, we didn't see him. I didn't see him at all during the qualifying. He's in 7th. Good effort there. Afro in 8th position. Fizzy in 9. Nally in 10th position with Ramdrop, Larkso, Mathis, Fugataro, Kalon, Max, AOC, and Chicane rounding up the other position. Kalon's actually has given me a heads up. He's running higher wings to give him better grip in the wet. So he's gone forward. He's forward thinking. That's lost him 7/10 on the straight. Goodness me! Oh, in the dry conditions. So that gave him quite a headache just now. But that will hopefully pay dividends later on.
Fab Racer on pole position in that McLaren, something I thought I would never say right now, seeing a McLaren on the front row of the grid, and even a Manor on the second row.
Yeah, and second row, yeah.
As well, but this is going to be a very interesting race, this one. We've got, for the first time for me, see how Wycombs copes. I know he's quick on the Xbox side, making that switch to PC, and he has an experienced teammate in Fizzy, who is obviously, we know, as a veteran of the league. So, Marco, who do you think, in your opinion, will win this Grand Prix?
I got my money on Wycombs this week.
Very firm decision there. Oh, this is a hard one. This is a very, very difficult one because, again, there's so many unknowns. Don't rule out some of the ones like Kalon mentioned. He's gone for a wet weather setup intentionally. Don't rule out some of the ones at the back. So we could be seeing a decent effort from them. But, yeah, I'd say Wycombs has got a decent shout at doing well here. I'm gonna. Why not go for him? I'm not dissing anybody, but Wycombs, I think, with I'm going to put my money on him.
I'm going to go different to you two. I'm going to go for the man on pole position, who I've just found out, apparently, if this is correct, got 2 poles in a row now, as they are now making their way onto the grid for round 3 of the AOR PC Split 1 Championship here in a wet Shanghai.
And here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wind them up. Let them go. We are underway then. I'm on board with Berg, or trying to be on board with Berg.
Oh, there's been contact.
Oh, my goodness me. That is Nooker and Berg. Berg is in the wall. He's right down to the back. Terrible, disastrous start.
Oh, and Fab Racer's lost the lead. He's lost the lead. Wycombs. I think he just ran a little bit wide. And, oh, that's a terrible shame there. I think the commentator's curse has struck again for the second time I've come on.
Indeed. Now, Nick B's gone through in the second. Great effort for him. Wycombs already beginning to build himself a small lead. Great start. Afro is up to 4th then. He's had a belting start in the system McLaren. So there we have Failer. He's up to 5th position from 7th. There is Nally. Great move we've just seen from him. Just Fizzy in 7th position in the system manner. There we see Ramdrop, and there is Larkso, the other Williams. Sol Williams, unfortunately, Saf not able to join us in this particular race due to controller problems. Max is in 10th position, then Nicky down to 11. Terrible start for him. Maffus 12 in the Haas, with Fugataro jumping on the inside of his teammate, taking that 12th place. Great effort there. Kalon, he's up to 14th position. Hopefully that setup's going to work well for him. Chicane and a ghosted Ryan. I'm assuming I'm in there as well. Yes, I am. And there's Nooker. So it was the Red Bull of Nooker, as we saw, that came into contact with Berg. Berg is way off the pace. He's lost his entire front wing. So he's got to limp the entire way around the circuit in the wet with no front wing. And that is going to be painful. Jumping back up to the front. Then Nick B jumping to the outside to try and get some pace on the Manor. The Manor matching the pace of the Ferrari at the top. But the Manor's going to hold that inside line.
He's got it. He's got the lead.
But that's a big oversteer moment for Wycombs there as they come into the final turn to end the first racing lap. Don't rule out Wycombs, though. He's right tucked underneath the rear wing of that Ferrari, on board with the Manor. Now, Wycombs taking the racing line. Nick B sticking to the inside to defend. Is he going to be able to hang on to it? That is going to be the question. Is Wycombs going to attempt an outside manoeuvre? That would be very brave in the wet. And Nick B doing a great defensive job there. Oh, and that's Fab Racer having a look on the what is now the outside of the Manor.
He is.
Oh, what a brave move.
No, he's back. He had to back out of it. The racing line is that inside line. As he's drifting through that exit of the Snail Complex. That is impressive driving from Fab Racer. But what a chaotic start to a wet race in AOR. I've never seen anything like that. Before turn 1, there's an incident.
So the top 3 are broken away then. The Ferrari, the Manor, and the McLaren.
I think we've got an overtake behind. Sorry, fella. And I believe it's Fizzy fighting. Oh, no, it's not Fizzy. Actually, I do take that back. It's a Red Bull. It's Ram you got through. So Ram's up to P7 and fella's dropped to P8. But they're all single file. We've got an overtake potentially behind of a Williams, of Saffron's teammate, and a Haas. And can't see who it is, but I think...
Yes, Larkso and Fugataro then swapping positions. Fuga's actually been on...
He's going for Larkso's going for a move down the inside, and is he going to get the move done? He does indeed, and the Haas goes wide, unfortunately, as Larkso has now moved up to P11.
Whoa, and that's a McLaren running wide. That's Afro. Afro's gone very, very wide at turn 2. Disaster for him, then he's down to 6th position. So he's lost out to, it must be Fizzy and Kalon then. Oh, sorry, talk over you, Ryan. Overtake there for 7th position. That is Max muscling his way past Ramdrop then on that turn 13. Ramdrop's not done, though. That was Afro that's gone through.
No,
so that was actually Afro that came through on the Force India there.
Oh, that's very close to the Renault behind as
well. And Afro's run wide. Afro's run wide at 14. That's going to give that position. Oh, dear. Afro's having a terrible time.
Fizzy now going down the inside of the Red Bull, going in towards turn 1. And he's actually defending for P7. So I don't know, is it P7 or P5? I'm not too sure if it's Mac, is it?
Fizzy's in 6th at the moment. He's trying to get on the inside of Ramdrop through turn 2. Now they switched to 3. Ramdrop has got the inside line then. Fizzy seems to have a thing about being side by side through those corners. He's slotted in behind Ramdrop. He's lost that 6th position to the Red Bull at the moment. A deception of Berg. He's fallen off the back of the pack. Where is he? Surely he's just come out of the pits. Oh my goodness me. Berg, 26 seconds at least down from the leader. He's just gone through the pits then for that new nose and fresh intermediate. So we will see how he does later on.
I'm not too sure if it's on your screen, Chris, but I think we could be getting some heavy rain.
Well, it could be, because there's a lot of sort of sliding around going on, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if people did try the white tyres, although there is a definitive line that is where, down the racing line. Whoops, as we just see Fabrice have a bit of a twitch then into turn 1. But I don't think... It really depends on how much standing water there is, or how much the standing water is really obvious from a spectator's standpoint. We've lost Larkso. We have lost the Williams from the race. We didn't see the incident. I'm going to see if I can find where he was.
Well, in the meantime,
I have no idea.
So if these guys make a collision, Muffers can be like, thank you very much, we'll take the move. And there he goes. Nicky's going for the move down the inside into the start of the final sector. And realistically, Nooker has the inside line for this corner. And he does indeed, but Nicky's trying to hold it around the outside, going into the second snail part of the track. And Nooker's gone wide actually, so Nicky's going to have the inside line. And basically now, it's a drag race down the long straight. Who's going to win, Renault or Red Bull? It should be interesting because they both got Renault engines, so it should be quite interesting.
Well, the Renault is on the really heavy watered part of the circuit. He's going to have horrible braking efficiency when he gets there, but slows it down perfectly well. And that chicane that is way off the track at turn 14. I'm going to have a look at race directors.
Sorry to interrupt you there. Nicky also made contact there nearly, but I've got to say, this is a tactical...
They're still side by side.
Oh, they're still going. But I want to say quickly that I think Marco can agree with me on this one. In terms of these tyres, to keep them cool and save some wear, some of the drivers may go off the racing line, especially on that long straight, to cool the tyres down and save maybe a couple of laps or so, if that is correct, Marco.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to go for like a potential one-stop on this track, you're going to have to cool them down.
Did he keep
and Wycombs has got himself a stop-go penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
Oh, wow.
So that's impressive with only 6 laps. It's a great shame because he's doing brilliantly well. Still up in that second position, still within half a second of race leader Nick B. But he has got himself a stop-go penalty. That is going to be catastrophic news.
I will say, at this point, if I was racing right now, I would still stay on inters. The point I would know when to pit for wets is if you see any puddles off the racing line. And speaking of which, a Toro Rosso has just run wide, and I think that's Nally. I think it is. You had that little slide out of there, so you could be correct. Maybe the tyres, these inters may not last as long as we would expect, and we could see 2 stops maybe, as Marco mentioned earlier, or some may try and gamble on preserving the tyres and do a 1 stop. So we'll have to wait and see.
Wycombs is now race leader. Nick B's down to 3rd.
Oh, that's not what he wants, but this is the golden opportunity now for Wycombs to pull away right now and try and get that deficit of that penalty behind him. But as I said, we've got to keep an eye on Fabrice here. He's just been so calm and collected right now. He's just playing his own little race here, just being consistent on his lap times and just maintain that gap to the leaders. He must know, if he's got Jeff on, that the car ahead of him, he'll say the car ahead's got a penalty. So that's what he'll be thinking right now. Wycombs has that penalty and he can just maintain the gap to Nick B behind. But this is a very crucial now part of this race for Wycombs to pull out a gap and potentially win this Grand Prix.
Yeah, whether to be wet weather conditions. Nally still fending off that Red Bull of Ram for 4th position. Fizzy holding on to that 6th position. He has got Failer. It's the Force India gets a bit lively on the exit of 10, I think. Yes, because it's just coming into sector 3. So Fizzy still has a lot of work to do, but he's having a good old race there in 6th position.
But it's a technically freeway scrap, so I think we'll go with that as well. Oh, and I think Wycombe just had a little bit of a lag spike right there, which has affected...
Where's he gone?
He's still leading. He had a bit of a lag spike, which affected Fab Racer and just gave Nick B the best opportunity to move back up to P2 in this Grand Prix. It was a little bit weird, but I think Wycombe's tactic there has worked out for Nick B there, so... Obviously, I don't think it was a legit thing. It may just be a connection issue with Wycombe's at the minute, so we have to keep an eye on that. Could there be a possible disconnection? We don't want that, of course, because it's a great battle we've got on here for the lead of this Grand Prix.
And Nicky is in. Now, I'm going to watch what he goes on to. I believe he's the first person, bar Berg, of course, to come in. So
I just want to clarify quickly. Berg is catching up to the back of the field already. He's right on the back of the Red Bull of Nooker. So he is on fire. He's already gained, since we last looked at him, he's gained 4 seconds on the lead, I have to say.
It's Inters. It is Inters onto the Renault, so it doesn't look like anyone is going to chance wets at the moment. It's Roundup and Nally that's directly ahead of them. They've been squabbling all race long for that 4th position.
I just want to say, Fizzy has got an indication to pit. So could we see some of these guys pitting anytime soon? But no, Fizzy stays out.
Max AFC, it's a Force India that's gone in.
Yeah, on board with him. See what he's going to go on. I'm going to guess Inters again. Personally, maybe they may get a message. Maybe they get a message from Jeff saying the track's going to dry up soon. Maybe this is the possible reasons why I think these guys will come in this early, or the tyres may have just gone off the cliff for them. We don't know what the conditions are for the whole entire race, so we are in the dark right now.
Berg has run wide. I think he was slightly unsighted. Again, sorry to cut over you there. Max AFC just coming out of the pits after his pit stop that we've just seen. Berg, I think, was a little bit unsighted by that and just went slightly wide at turn 1. That's thrown his opportunity away to overtake Max at the first turn, but we know how much pace Berg has. But is he going to be held up? Berg, it's going to have to pit again. It's going to be an incredible drive for Berg to get into the points, but if anybody can, he certainly is someone that could do.
He can. On board with Wycombe's, currently leading the Grand Prix still, and in that manner he's driving as Pascal Verline, which is obviously great. I like Pascal Verline. The gap 1.8 seconds to Nick B, so Wycombe's putting a gap which is very important. Obviously, if you guys do not know,
big oversteer for Wycombe's. Oh, he well held.
Fair play. Fair play.
That was incredible recovery by the manor there. Wow.
Fab Racer, the first man of the leaders to make a pit stop right now. And this, I think, is the best call for him right now to try and pull that deficit down and doing an undercut on the drivers. Nick B and Wycombe's have to react at this point, because on fresh inters you can gain so much time to those unused compounds of the inters. So he's going on to another set. It's a good stop for McLaren, and hopefully for Fab Racer he comes out into some clean air at least. Otherwise, his strategy here could be ruined, and we'll just keep chicane. Oh, and chicane.
Chicane.
But he is held to dry on the outside, though, so I think Fab Racer will have the line going out of the Snail complex, and he's got better tyres as well than chicane. So hopefully Fab Racer can get past. Oh, and they're so close there.
Beautiful, beautiful move. Oh, big tail happy moment there for Fab Racer. Very nicely done, beautifully handled.
I forgot.
Again, you could have panicked at that moment and to realise there was someone alongside you. He held his nerve, held his line, and up into back into 9th position then.
And we could see a pit battle here. No, he's not. He's staying out. Wycombe's is staying out. Nick B is coming in though.
Nick B's in.
I don't understand why Wycombe's is still staying out, unless he's thinking it's getting heavier. I'm not too sure if he's going to try and hold these tyres out, but I just don't think Wycombe's should have stayed out. I think he should have pitted. He should have reacted to Fab Racer, but we have to wait and see where he is as Nick B onto another set of inters. I'm just going to follow where Fab Racer is. If you just want to follow Nick B as he's coming out.
I'm watching Nick B, as he's coming out of the pits.
Fab Racer's just coming up to the line now. So here we go. It's going to be very close, this one. Who is going to come out on top? It's going to be...
It's Nick B.
Nick B.
I think, Nick B's in 7th. Yeah, Fab Racer right behind him. We just saw, I think it was Failer in the background. He's had his pit stop as well in the Force India. Another set of inters for him. So, Nick B in 7th position then. That's right behind Fukutaro.
I'm just thinking maybe Wycombe's is attempting a one-stop. If he doesn't pit this lap, I'm thinking he's committed to a one-stop here. And he's managing those tyres. Here comes Nick B, though. He's looking very feisty. He's going down that inside. The camera goes out. Not to the best of angles, but he gets that move done on the inside. And he moves up to P6 in the Grand Prix. But we're going to just jump on board with our race leader, Wycombe's. And I'm pretty sure he has to pit this lap. Otherwise, he's going to attempt the one-stop. That's the thing I'm thinking of. He is
and
indeed...
he's not in.
He is definitely doing a one-stop. He has to be doing one right now. And he just got to manage those tyres now. And remember, he has that penalty as well, that stop-and-go penalty. So that's maybe why we're seeing him still out on track right now. He has to do this one-stop.
Oh, second, third, and fourth all just came in perfect line. Nally, Ram, and Fizzy all came in at exactly the same time. I'm going to watch from Fizzy's perspective.
Well, I was going to as well, but I'll jump on.
From the back of this, straight.
I'm going to follow Ram as he's coming into the pits, and it's a good stop from Red Bull. Very quick stop. He's been held by Fizzy though. Fizzy fan likes to not troll people at times, but he's just cost the position.
Oh, the Red Bull, the Toro Rosso have swapped position. Fizzy's actually lost out position to Kalon. Kalon's just come through.
Oh, that's a shame.
Fizzy lost out badly there.
He holds at 1, but he unfortunately is there. We'll quickly go through the top 5 quickly, as RCTV wants to know. So Ycoms at the minute leads. Then we've got Nick B in 2nd place. Then it's Fab Racer in P3. Fukataro in P4, who hasn't made a pit stop. And Chicane completes your top 5, but we're just going to keep an eye on Ycoms right now and see if he's going to pit this lap and see if he is going to do that 5-second stop-go penalty, if it is correct, of course. If it is, or it will be a 10-second, we don't know yet, but we're about to find out.
Surely he's going to come in.
He is
and
now.
He does.
He is. He has to. He's going for that half. I don't know if it's me, but is it getting heavier? I'm not too sure if it is or not, or it's just me.
Doesn't look any heavier to me. Oh, Ycoms get really squarely in the pit lane entrance.
Here we go. We're about to find out, as he's got to go a long way down.
Long way down the pits, yeah, as we saw Fizzy do.
I think he may drop to P3 here. You know, I've got a feeling he's going to come in 3rd place here, and yep, there's the stop and go.
So it is the 5-second then, because if it was a 10-second, he wouldn't do that in the pit
just
box.
Crosses the line with the fastest lap, so he is going to take the lead of the Grand Prix. Does Nick B, and Fab Racer's up to P2 right now, so that penalty.
Ycoms out in 3rd.
That's a bit unfortunate for him, but he's come out in clean air. Mathis in P4.
It is recoverable, though. It is recoverable, especially if the 2 ahead do decide to stop again. So Ycoms could choose to buy this time to hope that the 2 ahead either have a problem. I mean, if the rain is getting heavier, that is going to cause a problem.
If it does,
Ycoms just nailed 3/10 out of the gap between himself and Nick B. So bear in mind that he could appeal the 5-second penalty. He's within that 5 seconds at the moment. So this race could be decided off track, but if Ycoms wins it by merit anyway, then the penalty is neither here nor there.
Oh,
most of them are good.
Fab Racer
yeah,
there.
most of them are good.
I thought he lost it there, but I think it could be a bit of lag related there. But Fab Racer, he's in a very commanding position right now. Oh, I think he's just managing the tyres for now, maybe saving a little bit of fuel, and then he's going to make his pounce with less than 10 laps to go. But they're coming up to the line. I think he's gained a little bit on this lap to Nick B, as we've got to keep an eye on Ycoms as well, who is in that P3 spot. And
we've lost Berg! Oh, we've lost Berg! Oh, again, we didn't see why, and his car is now not going to be available. Oh, what has happened to the championship leader? Joint championship leader, I should say. Nick will no doubt be smiling his head off at that. We have lost the Mercedes. What a shame, he was having such a charge. But alas, fate has said, no, we have lost Berg from the race.
That's a real shame. It's a real shame for Berg. I was thinking points especially, but we'll have to wait and see. Fab Racer, but I've got to say, Fab Racer is only 1.6 seconds behind Nick B as well. So I've got to say it again. It's a freeway horse right now. Once again, it is definitely a freeway scrap as well. There's our Salvers having. I've got to say though, Fella is not far behind these guys. So they're on the camera shot there, as you saw there in the distance. So if the top
there's about 13 seconds that Fela is actually down the road from Ycoms. 12-13 seconds. Time-wise, it's quite a bit, but he does get into the shot. I mean, fair play to Fela. We saw him starting fairly down the order.
Fastest lap again, 49 flat. He is on the charge and is only 2.5 seconds behind the leader right now. Fab is now 6/10 behind. He has gained a chunk of time in that middle sector to Nick B. Oh, and Fab Racer nearly loses it onto the grass there, onto the straight. But he's got slipstream though. He has the slipstream and he's hitting nearly over 2 and he's getting very close here. And this is Fab Racer's best opportunity of the race. Nick B there nearly losing it there. The back end looked a little bit twitchy. But Ycoms as well is now in frame as well. You can see in the mirror on that McLaren. So with 9 laps to go, Nick B holding on just about the race lead here. We could have another classic race again. We saw this in Australia. I don't know if we saw it in Bahrain as well, but the 3 opening races have been absolutely fantastic, and this is what we want to see in online league racing right here in AOR. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Lag.
I think
that was a lag moment for Fab Racer. Yeah,
a scary
it
moment.
looked like he was. Yeah, it looked like he was going to skew off the track and then reappeared in his position.
I've got to say, this is going to be exciting. He's only a 10th and a half, but look at Wycombs as well. He's now in the slipstream of Fab Racer, and if I was him, I would literally just back off a little bit and have these two fight it out, and if they make contact with each other, you can just be like taking candy from a baby and move up to P1. There's been a bit of contact there, I think, on the back there of Nick B's Ferrari, but I'm not 100% sure if that was contact or not. It could be lag again. But I think the rain is not easing off that much, so I think it will be
like
a wet end to this Grand Prix. But what a race this has been already. We'll bring Marco FD right now in for some analysis and what his feelings are. How would you feel right now, Marco, with Wycombs in that P3 spot and the 2 drivers ahead of him fighting? What would your situation be right now with only 8 laps to go? What would your mindset be right now if you were Wycombs?
If I were Wycombs right now, I'd save a little fuel because I have the tire advantage and I have the position to have these guys possibly take each other out at the moment, and at the same time they can wear each other out, and I can basically take the win on the last 3 laps with some fuel left and some tire life left.
My money's still on Fab Racer right now, and I think you two will probably stick with Wycombs if I'm correct. If any second thoughts have changed?
It is. I mean, it's any of these 3 really, unless catastrophe strikes. It is really anyone's game. Wycombs does have the tyre advantage, though. I will stick with Wycombs purely on the basis of he served that 5-second penalty. He's back up within a second. Obviously, if he gets the penalty appeal, that's one thing. But assuming that doesn't happen, he has got the slightly fresher tyres, doesn't seem to be squirming around as much as the McLaren or the Ferrari has been for the last few. I would think it is advantage Wycombs at the moment. He caught it brilliantly well.
Lock up from Wycombs.
Oh, we've lost Nooker. We have lost one of the Red Bulls.
Wycombs
is out.
Wycombs is apparently, in his words, running a super high wing setting, apparently. High downforce settings.
With the amount of pace he's losing on that back straight, that is definitely proving to be the case, which means Fab Racer is doing a stunning job staying right in contention there if his wings are that much lower.
Another thing I want to just throw in the mix that someone's mentioned in the chat quickly. Oh, and there's been a bit of contact there with Fab Racer. He's going for the move. Fab Racer's going down the inside, and is there going to be no, it's not. It's actually clean battling between Nick B and Fab Racer, but Fab Racer technically has the lead at the minute as it stands, but he's going to be hooked on the outside, and Nick B will hold on to that lead, and it just brings Wycombs into the equation once again, and he's going to try and go on the outside, but he backs out of it. He knew he had to back out of it there, and he's going to try and do the switch back here. I think it could work, but he can't get it done in this corner. You got to stay single file.
3 or 4 switchbacks we saw in a row there, and all 3 of these cars getting their tails wagging. And Fab Racer is determined to try and get past then. Oh, bit of contact between the Manor and the McLaren, it looked like there from Wycombs' view. This
is hard to judge right now. Who is going to win this? I have no idea, but I want to go through the field quickly, but I just can't because I don't want to miss any.
The same.
We do apologise to anyone who's supporting Fizzy or anyone like that. But here we go. Fab Racer's got a beautiful run now on Nick B. He's going to try and pull off a brilliant move around the outside. He's outbraked them as well into the hairpin. He's going to go. Oh, there's been contact between the 2 of them. They've made contact.
The boot's gone off.
And Nick, I think
Wycombs is through. Wycombs is into the lead.
Oh, he's side by side.
No, he's not. He's side by side.
What? Oh my God, what's going on there? They're going side by side. This is going to end horribly wrong here. I could just sense it right now. I'm jumping on board.
Well recovered by Nick B.
I'm jumping on board with Fab Racer right now. He's going side by side with Wycombs into turn 1, and he's holding it beautifully around the outside. But Wycombs is coming back. But Fab Racer will have technically the inside for the next corner coming up. So, oh my God, this is exciting right now.
Wycombs can't do anything about it.
There's been contact. There's been contact there. Wycombs' hand is in the air right now, and I think Wycombs is going to hold it there. But
brilliantly done by Wycombs there, and Fab Racer had to get behind the wing there. Oh, but he's having a look at the inside for 6. But no, think better of it.
What racing this has been. I've got to say, props to all 3 of them there. and there was a little bit of banging between them, but it was all respectful driving there. They all want to win this Grand Prix. What an epic last few corners there, I've got to say. No, it is not over yet.
We still have right 2.5 laps to go, and this is going to go until the checkered flag. Can Nick sustain this amount of pressure? We've seen him fend off pressure before, but for this length of time.
For Wycombs to win this Grand Prix, he has to do the overtake before the long straight and defend for his life if he wants to win this Grand Prix. He is right on the back of Nick B right now, but if I was Fab Racer, I would just let these two squabble, and if they make contact, as we saw a lap before, he could take the lead and win this Grand Prix. I just don't know who's going to... I'm still baffled on who's going to win this one. We like
Fab Racers really... Fab Racers... Oh, an impact between the two. I think Wycombe didn't judge how quickly Nick B was going to slow down there, but Fab Racers really fallen off the back.
I think his tyres have gone. I think his tyres have gone now. I think he's either backing off and he's waiting for a collision to happen with Wycombs and Nick B, or he's got problems. I'm not too sure. He's saving fuel. But here comes Wycombs. He's got that slipstream. Is he, with that high downforce set, going to make a move?
Anything, though.
He's going for it.
Not doing anything at all.
He's going for it. He's going around the outside once again, and he just can't get it done. Nick B doing a fantastic job defending. Wycombs loses it out of the hairpin, but gets away with it there and stays within a relative distance. But here we go. Last lap of the Chinese Grand Prix in Split 1. Who is your money on? I have no idea, but I think Fab Racer is out of this unless a crash happens between these two. This is going to be exciting. I don't know who to call it. Chris, who's your money on right now? I have no idea right now.
I'd be happy for all three of them to take it, frankly, but I think Wycombs may just be able to sneak a cheeky move. Final lap.
Oh, back end slides.
Yeah, again, those back tyres are pretty ruined on all three cars. Can Wycombs get a bit of pace?
He's going for it. He's going around the outside. He's trying to go around that outside.
Wycombs was the fastest today, definitely, with 5 seconds stop and go, still on behind.
Oh, big oversteer moment for Wycombs. That's oh no, it was a lag moment. I beg your pardon.
It was a lag. It was a lag moment there. But tyres are the factor now for these two drivers at the front of the field right now. They've got to preserve them. There could be a fear of punches as well. You've got to remember that if they've had these on for quite some time and burn them up quickly, we could see something happen here. Oh, and Wycombs loses at the back end there a little bit. He's got to go for it in the hairpin. He has to. He's a tenth behind right now.
Again,
look at him.
Contact between the two.
He's pushing. He's literally pushing Nick B right now. He's like, come on, push me right now, and make a mistake. I'm jumping on board with Wycombs for this last bit. He's one ride. I think that's game over.
I think that is, unless Nick makes a mistake. Whoa, and this...
I think he's given up, or there may have been an issue. I'm not too sure what happened there. But I think Nick B has won this now. I think that was his golden ticket gone for Wycombs.
Yeah.
But Nick B, here he comes then, coming into the final corner then. And what a race it has been here for you guys in the chat. But Nick B will win the Chinese Grand Prix and round 3 of the AOR PC Split 1. Wycombs will come home in second. And Fab Racer will come
a big wiggle to himself as well there for Nick. Brilliant stuff. And championship lead for the Ferrari.
Randrop coming home in P4 for Red Bull. A great drive from him. And here comes Kalon as well in P5. And there's a battle going on behind him as Fizzy is holding off the P6 from the Toro Rosso of Nally. And he's done it. A great drive from Fizzy Fan 91. And comes home in P6 with Kalon behind him. Not Kalon, sorry. Nally, I do apologise. Fukatoro coming home in P8, then it's going to be Chicane, and then we're going to follow Mathis, who's in a battle with Afro for P11 for this final points paying position, and Mathis will just get over the line.
I wonder where Failer had gone. He's got a puncture. The Force India has got a puncture. He's crawling home.
There he is.
His teammate Max is actually going alongside him for 13th position.
That is great sportsmanship to see there. The two drivers side by side, and we're just waiting for Nicky. Here he comes. Coming to across the line in P14, and there's our cars in the background there. But what a race that was! Chris, do you want to take us through the final spots then for this Chinese Grand Prix?
Nick B taking the win then in awesome start by less than a second over Wycombs. Nick B, of course, taking the championship lead as previously mentioned. Fab Racer, excellent stuff. in third position there. Ramdrop 4, Kalon 5, Fizzy 6, Nally 7. Great races by all of those drivers. Fugataro, excellent effort in the Haas there in 8th position. Chicane 9, Mathis 10. Afro not having such a great race here today, 11th. Failer, what a shame after starting so well, running so well for so long, and having that punch at the end has demoted him to 12th. Max in 13th, and Nick, as we saw, in 14th. And sadly, we'd lost Nuka, Berg, Larkso in the race. What a race this has been! Incredible stuff.
I have to say, by far, the best race I've experienced in AOR. So for myself, thank you very much, guys, for watching this. If you liked what you saw, make sure to slap that like button as well. We hit over nearly 200 viewers during this stream, which is absolutely bonkers. And I think it's the most viewed...
Nice.
It's the most viewed stream I've had in a long time, so thank you very much to everyone who is still watching this right now. Also, Kodiak's Twitch will be in the description of the video if you want to check out his pod, but he will be uploading it to his YouTube channel, which I'll also put in the description as well. Marco, I'll probably put your Twitter in the description as well if you want me to do that, if you want, and your YouTube channel.
Sure. Yeah, sure, thanks.
As well. But we will see you guys next week, same time, same place, 8 o'clock on a Sunday night for the 4th round in Spain. Until then, it is goodbye from myself, Ryan.
And goodbye from myself, King Kodiak.
And this is where
Kimi Raikkonen's brother.
Oh, there you go then. And we will see you guys next week at Spain. Until then, have a great night, guys, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.
And good night.